Hi, I'm Barry Page with Legacy Money. If you're a business owner looking for proactive tax planning or a CPA drowning in tax deadlines and compliance work, this video will explain how we can help you with our virtual family office. You know, paying income taxes can be painful, and business clients deserve proactive family office level planning. So you're in the right place. Today, I'm sitting down with my friend and colleague, Jack Branch of Pelican Family Office, to show you exactly how forward-thinking CPAs are partnering with our family office to increase revenue, free up time, future-proof their businesses from AI and industry disruption, and deliver better results for high net worth clients. You're about to hear a real-world example of how one century-old CPA firm raised their fees with zero client loss, improved client relationship, reduced their clients' tax liability, and started being much more effective. Stick around. This could be the video that transforms your business practice and secures your financial legacy. Let's jump in with Jack. All right. Hey, I'm Barry Page with Legacy Money. I'm talking to Jack Branch. Jack, we've been friends and colleagues for many years, but I know you've shifted your focus of your business and you're working with a family office. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the wealthiest 1% in the country run their wealth like a business, and there's a reason that money continues to grow and compound and grow for multiple generations because they treat it as such. So my partner and I have been doing traditional work for a number of years, also some non-traditional work. However, we made the decision many years back to stop working with anyone and everyone and work with folks that wanted access to family office type services.
So what inspired you to kind of focus on working with CPAs in particular?
Well, most of the time in the past when we would do ideas or proposals with clients, they would always say, I need to check with my CPA. So instead of us continuing to have that as a hurdle, we began to say, well, why not just partner with them in a bigger way, not referrals based, but partner with them to help them with their problems that they have as well, which is too much work, not enough work-life balance, and wanting to go deeper with clients, not just shallow.
I like that. So kind of elaborate, what kind of problems do you see the CPAs facing in their professional?
Well, the CPAs are told by the industry, the AICPA, that they need to do more proactive work, stay ahead, but they have too many clients based on deadlines, and clients are notoriously procrastinators, so they put things off like 2 days before the deadline, so they have all this information coming in, not enough time to process it, so therefore they lose out on giving their best clients more proactive and value-added services just by treading water. And most accountants, quite frankly, are going to die at their desk if they don't change or be replaced by AI and other tools that can do compliance or bookkeeping or payroll a lot more efficiently and cheaper than they can.
That's good. So it's a teamwork approach. You're working together with this.
Yeah, the accountants are overwhelmed. They don't need to spin more plates, so our firm comes along accountants and basically doesn't make them work harder but smarter, because all they have to do is explain that we're the advanced planning arm for that CPA firm, and then set up in a meeting, and then we go through an agendaless meeting with somebody paying at least $100,000 in taxes to triage the problems they lay out, not our agenda, not the CPAs, but the client's agenda.
I like that. So can you maybe walk us just through an example? You don't have to give any specifics, but just an example where you've helped the CPA and helped the client to work through these.
Well, one accounting firm in New Orleans has a successful CPA firm, over 100 years old, but they had way too many clients. So we did a Pareto exercise on their book, looked at who was being charged what, and actually they realized that they were way undercharging what they should. So they raised prices immediately, and no one left. So they added a lot more revenue to the firm just by bringing prices to modern day, values. And then we went deeper by actually digging into that upper echelon, having more meaningful discussions, creating more revenues, taking somebody from a $5,000 or $2,500 a year client to exponentially more, creating better profits for them, happier clients with the outcomes that we do. Those are just a couple of the examples.
That's awesome. So how would you say your coaching or family office process differs than the traditional referral type thing that many advisors and accountants seem to get into or pass on?
Well, the challenge in the financial sphere, especially in investments, insurance stuff, is we're all as good as the next person we've met. And so whether you're buying leads or you're doing seminars or you're doing online marketing, that requires a lot of inputs, a lot of cash to hope that you actually get that right avatar. Whereas working with accountants strategically and becoming an extension of them, not a separate entity, but an extension of them through an advanced planning team, you can then have unlimited amount of activity from the right clientele, real specific, versus just taking anyone and everyone.
What would you say is the most common aha moment for the CPAs? When do they get it? What would
well,
you
they
say?
get it because they know numbers on a page, but they don't know all the aspirations, desires, net worth, and so forth and so on. So if you think about an accountant, how can they advise somebody if they don't even know what he's worth? So as we go through this process, we do a balance sheet, ask some questions in some particular areas about their business, how they're going to exit, do they want to exit, what they're doing to exit efficiently. And the CPA has no idea, so it gives them a deeper look into the ongoings of a family and their businesses to be able to advise them a lot more effectively and efficiently than just looking at a bunch of K1s, W-2s, or 1099s.
Right. So I know they're under a lot of pressure, especially right here at tax season. And
they work themselves to death, man. It's sad.
So you can come in, help the accountant, help the advisors, help form a team relationship with this family office approach, right?
Yeah, so we operate under what's called a multi-family office. Family offices are millions or tens of millions of dollars, and there's people from about 5 million to 2 billion of net worth that want family office type services that don't have the wherewithal to pay tens of millions of dollars. So if we can bring it and that experience to the accountant and through the accountant to those types of clientele, they're overwhelmed and joyful to pay that because they're getting the value that they always wanted. The Sleater study the Sleater group did a study that said 2 out of 3 successful business owners is looking to switch accountants. And why is that, Barry? Why do you think that would be?
Well, just maybe forward thinking instead of just trapped in a box.
Right, and they're not getting what they ultimately want, which is less money going to the bureaucracies and keep more of that to invest in their businesses, invest in the stock market, real estate, crypto, whatever they want to invest in.
Right. I like that. So for a CPA that may be on the fence or maybe exploring new avenues, new revenue streams, what would you say that they should do? How can they, CPAs are accountants are about bottom lines, right? So what kind of revenue increases or streams or how could they improve their practice by doing this?
Well, whatever a person, an accountant or accounting firm is doing in revenue compliance, they can almost be assured that there's that much in advisory. So if you have an accountant doing $1 million, you can almost guarantee there's $1 million of advisory there. Mm-hmm. So the question is, are they working on things under the stress of deadlines and stress and no end in sight, or do they shift a little bit and start integrating some of these things we're talking about with a group like us to come alongside them, not work harder, but work alongside them, show them how it's so simple and it doesn't require more work or hours, so
right.
They can start making a lot more per hour than $100 to $250 an hour. And that's what I always ask accountants, what do you think your billable hours is? They all say 150 to 250. They're really not. And if we can show them how to get 1,000 or more an hour by doing smarter work, deeper work, clients are glad to pay it if the value's there.
Right. So the clients are happy to pay, and the accountants that maybe are trying to juggle all of those things already. They're trying to be the advisor. They're trying to be the tax prep guy. They're trying to manage the money. All the things that they're trying to do. This just kind of takes some of the pressure off of them. And,
yes.
And allows them to focus on what they're good at, and
focus
work
on
with
their
the team.
best clients, because the problem is on that deadline intensive treadmill, we call it, you're never going to have the time for the clients that you need to. So therefore, you're going to lose those people to other accounting firms or accounts that are going to make time. So in order to future-proof your accounting firm, you should change sooner versus later, because we know AI, I mean, the government's already doing tax returns. So if all you're hanging your hat on as an accountant is a tax return, you're probably already out of business, even though you're still doing some business.
Right. So would you say this is as much for, let's just say there's older accountants that kind of do, have the blinders on, and then you got the younger guys that might be thinking outside the box, but is there a sweet spot? And speaking about that future proof, I mean, the next chapter, you started out the family office, and that succession plan. Is this a better way for maybe a CPA to plan their succession plan or exit strategy as well?
Yeah, I mean, if they're hoping that they're just going to get 1 times, 2 times revenue based on what the compliance model predicts or says, that's a low end number. Whereas if they can start to create recurring revenues that are exponentially greater than their EV for the firm, the economic value of that, enterprise value of that, is going to be exponentially greater. And so therefore, when they go to sell, whether it's to another young guy or gal coming up, or private equity or whoever, it's just going to make it more valuable. So that's the essence of it, is helping their business look more attractive than something that may be obsolete, as the items we talked about before.
Sure. And for a business owner, a business client that may be talking to CPAs or looking for ways, different alternatives to just the traditional defer and whatnot, these strategies, these plans that you advocate, what's the best way for them to learn about this? How can they get to know you or get to know the CPA better?
Well, they could go to Pelican, www.pelican.com, and find more about our story, how we work. We have accountants, a dozen right now we're working with, that's going to grow exponentially greater, that we vet. So if you have an accountant that isn't forward thinking or not willing to, we could connect you with one. But better yet, if you have an accountant that you like and you trust and and you want help developing those people, that's really where our sweet spot is. Because it's very difficult to get rid of a long-standing relationship. And if Pelican can come alongside them and groom them and help them in their skills, therefore helping the client, then you don't have to move. So we would rather develop the accountant if the client wants that. But if not, we also have very forward-thinking, mindful practitioners that are already going to be doing this kind of work.
Fantastic. So we'll put the links in the description of the video. But thank you for sharing all that with us today, Jack.
Yeah.
And we hope that you can continue to build your business and help CPAs and help business clients out there and families with your family office. So thank you for talking to us today, and hopefully this will pay off for everybody in the end.
Thank you, Barry. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed watching my conversation with Jack Branch of Pelican Family Office. If you're a high net worth business owner or family who's looking for proactive, coordinated family office level planning, then we can help connect you with the right team. If you're a CPA that's tired of the compliance treadmill, working nights and weekends, and you want to add a true advanced planning arm to your practice so you can serve your clients at a much higher level and dramatically increase everyone's after-tax revenue, our virtual family office may be the solution. Either way, the next step is simple. Just click the link in the description and schedule a discovery call with me. We'll see if this is a good fit for you. Drop a comment below with the word VFO if you want more content like this. And make sure to subscribe for more wealth building and legacy building strategies. And I'll see you in the next video.